All right, so now we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to look at how we can find the input from the output. So in all of these cases, we're given some information about the output of the function, and we want to find what the input was or some information about the input. So let's start with this first one. F of x is equal to 15. Now f of x is minus 2x plus 5. All right, and we just want to find the x value that that makes f of x 15. So all we need to do then is just a little algebra. So I know 2x plus 5 is equal to 15, and now we'll just do some algebra to figure out what x is. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I get negative 2x equals 10. And then divide both sides by negative 2. So x is equal to negative 5. All right. So all we need to do is a little algebra. All right. So here's another one. We're basically going to do the same thing. We know that the function is 2x plus 5. And we're looking for the x value that gives us an output of negative 2/3. All right. The only trouble is here we got to work with fractions, right? So what I'm going to do here is just I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides just like I did before, but I'm going to write 5 or negative 5 as 15/5, right? So I'm going to have negative 2x is equal to, and actually let me just do what I just said. Let's write this as, I'm going to subtract 5, but we're going to write it as negative 15 over over 3. Sorry, not 15/5. I think I said 15/5. 15/3, right? Because that's 5. That's the same thing. And then I can see, okay, I got negative 2/3 and then minus 15/3, so that's a negative 17/3, right? And now I can divide by negative 2, or if you prefer, sometimes it's better to multiply both sides by a negative 1/2. You can think of it that way because we got a fraction on the other side. So I'm going to multiply this by minus 1/2. Okay? So because negative 1/2 times a negative 2 is 1, then that just leaves me with x. And then I'm just going to multiply these fractions, right? So I'm taking negative 17/3 times negative 1/2. Negative times negative is positive. And then we can just multiply the numerators, which gives us 17, and multiply the denominators, which gives us 6. So the answer is 17/6. Positive 17/6. Now you can always check that, right? You can put that back up into the equation, the original equation, and make sure that that does give you negative 2/3. So, all right. So let's look at this next one. This looks a little different. But again, I'm just going to replace f of x with the expression for x of x, the formula for f of x, right? So 2x plus 5 is greater than 3. So we're looking for the x values that satisfy that this expression now. This inequality. It's an inequality now. All right, so what do we need to do? You got to remember how to work with inequalities. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I get a negative 2x is greater than a negative 2. All right. So now we just need to get the x by itself, right? So I'd like to divide both sides by negative 2. But remember, when you're working with an inequality, and you divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality around, right? So this greater than is going to become a less than, right? We're going to divide both sides by negative 2. And so we get x is less than a positive 1, right? Because negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. All right. So the x values that satisfy this inequality now are x is less than 1. All right, so here's another inequality. We're going to do the same thing. So we have negative 2x plus 5, replacing f of x with the formula, and is less than or equal to 1. All right, we're going to subtract 5 from both sides, just like we did before. get negative 2x is less than or equal to a negative 4. And we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. We have to flip the inequality around so that less than or equal to becomes a greater than or equal to. Divide this by negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, and then it becomes 2. So x has to be greater than or equal to 2 in order for f of x to be less than or equal to 1. All right, I'll see you in the next video.